situation that may not
General
arise.
Sauer, logic has consequences. Once you use a particular kind of argument to justify one thing, you can't turn your back on that kind of argument if it also justifies another thing in the exact same way. And so, you know, putting a footnote in an opinion saying we don't decide X, Y, and Z because it's not before us doesn't do much good if the entire logic of the opinion drives you there.
I'm not sure that's true when it comes to non-Article III courts, because there the question would be, what are they doing? Is it judicial power or executive power? That's a totally different set of questions.
But
Those are hard questions.
But I think Justice Kagan's point is that you're asking us to ask that question. And so we have to understand, you're asking us to ask the question with respect to each agency, what are they doing? That's the necessary result of the argument that you're making in this case. And I guess my point is, one way to avoid these difficult line drawing problems would be to let Congress decide. I mean, I sort of thought that we have Article 1, which I think you agree gives Congress some authority to set up these agencies, to determine their structure, to create the offices that we're talking about. So it seems to me that that greater power, we should at least think about whether it should include the power to determine the term of office, the extent to which people can be removed. And I appreciate that Article 2 has some language in it that you're pointing to, but as Justice Sotomayor pointed out, the Constitution does not speak specifically to removal. You're asking us to infer this based on the Constitution's structure, and I don't know why we'd make that inference when the power to create agencies and set everything up lies with Congress.
I agree with very much of what you said, and so did James Madison. So he made the point in the decision of 1789 that Congress has authority to create the office and give it, set its emoluments and structure that office. But once Congress has done that, its power there stops.
Is that because of your democratic accountability? I'm trying to understand why you think that Congress is somehow less democratically accountable for the way in which it constructs these agencies and determines the term of office of the officers. You seem to think that there's something about the president that requires him to control everything as a matter of democratic accountability, when on the other side we have Congress saying we'd like these particular agencies and officers to be independent of presidential control for the good of the people. We're exercising our Article 1 authority to protect the people by creating this independent structure. And I don't understand why it is that the thought that the president gets to control everything can outweigh Congress's clear authority and duty to protect the people in this way.
Congress has a broad authority in structuring the federal government, but what it lacks authority to do is to create these headless agencies, agencies who have no boss and are not answerable to the voters.
Why?
Why?
Why does it lack the Constitution does not say that Congress cannot create an independent agency. So what is it about your argument that requires us to reach that result?
We disagree with that. We think the text of the Constitution confers the executive power, all of it, on the president. As Madison argued compellingly in the decision of 1789, the power to remove is an aspect of the executive power. Further, the text of the Constitution includes the take care clause. The take care clause, as the court has said virtually every time it's discussed this,
the text of the Constitution includes the necessary and proper clause, which gives Congress the authority to determine, set up, et cetera, these agencies to protect the interests of the people. So we have a conflict, I guess, and I'm just wondering why the president's interests in the way that you've described them win.
You can answer the question.
It is not proper under the necessary and proper clause for Congress to peel away executive power from the president and give it to someone who's not answerable to the voters.